In the shadowy realms of Breton mythology, there exists a figure both feared and revered, a spectral entity known as the Anku. This skeletal being, draped in a tattered black cloak and crowned with a wide-brimmed hat, wields a scythe with an inverted blade, a tool as unique as the creature itself. His head rotates a full 360 degrees, granting him an omnipresent gaze that sees all, leaving no soul unnoticed. The Anku is not merely a legend, he is a constant, haunting presence in the lives of those who dwell in the regions where his tale is told. At any moment, he may appear to claim a soul, be it yours or that of someone dear to you. To truly understand the depth of this legend, one must delve into the rich tapestry of Breton folklore, where the Anku reigns as both a harbinger of death and a guardian of the dead. The Anku's origins are as mysterious as the figure himself. In the earliest tales, he was depicted as a being tasked with maintaining the delicate balance between life and death. Armed with a hammer, he possessed the power to grant life or bring about death, much like the Celtic deities Seli and Dagda. Over time, however, the Anku's role shifted, and he became synonymous with death itself, often compared to the Grim Reaper of other cultures. His name, Anku, is believed to be derived from the Breton word anken, meaning anguish or pain. In Wales, he is known as Anha, while in Cornwall, he is called Anna. The Anku's appearance varies across different tales, but common threads run through these descriptions. He is often portrayed as a tall, gaunt figure, almost skeletal in form, with long, flowing white hair. His face is typically hidden beneath the brim of his hat, though some versions of the legend describe him as having a horrifying visage, a noseless face with empty eye sockets that glow with an eerie, pale light. One of his most distinctive features is his rotating head, which allows him to see in all directions simultaneously. This ability symbolizes his omnipresence and his relentless vigilance in collecting souls. The Anku's scythe is no ordinary farming tool. Its blade is inverted, pointing outward rather than inward. When he reaps souls, he does not pull them toward himself. Instead, he casts them forward, sending them on their journey to the afterlife. This unique design underscores the Anku's role as a guide rather than a captor, a being who facilitates the transition from life to death rather than merely ending it. The Anku does not traverse the land on foot. Instead, he rides in a creaking skeletal carriage known as the carriole and Anku in Breton. This ominous vehicle is drawn by two horses, one robust and healthy, the other emaciated and sickly. Some versions of the legend speak of 4 horses, while others describe a single skeletal steed. Accompanying the Anku are 2 ghostly figures who walk alongside the carriage, guiding the horses and assisting in the collection of souls. The sound of the carriage's wheels is said to be an omen of imminent death, a chilling reminder of the Anku's ever-present watch. The Anku is not merely a figure of terror. He plays a crucial role in the cycle of life and death. In Breton tradition, he is seen as a protector of cemeteries and the souls that reside within them. He leads sacred processions of the dead, guiding them to the afterlife. Despite his fearsome reputation, the Anku is more of a worker of death than death itself. He is an undead being, bound to his duty of safeguarding the souls of the departed and ensuring their safe passage to the beyond. The Anku's presence is often announced by signs and omens. The creaking of his carriage wheels is a harbinger of death, and the cry of an owl, known as the Labuan Anku, or bird of death, signals his arrival. In some tales, the Anku is said to knock on the doors of houses where someone is about to die, issuing a warning or a mournful lament, akin to that of a banshee. His mere presence is often enough to claim a life, as those who encounter him are reminded of the inevitability of death. The Anku features prominently in numerous Breton tales, each adding layers to his legend. One of the most famous stories involves 3 drunken friends who, on their way home, decide to play a prank by blocking a road with a dead tree. Later that night, they are awakened by a violent knocking at their door. A sinister voice demands that they remove the tree, as it is obstructing the path of the Anku. Terrified, the friends comply, only to discover that the stranger is none other than the Anku himself. He informs them that, due to their prank, they will each die an hour earlier than destined. He adds that they are fortunate to have obeyed immediately, for had they delayed, they would have owed him a year of their lives for every minute lost. In another variation of this tale, two of the friends mock and throw stones at the Anku, damaging his carriage. The third friend, ashamed of their actions, helps repair the carriage using a branch and his shoelaces. The next morning, the two mocking friends are found dead, while the third, who showed respect, survives, though his hair turns white from the ordeal. The legend of the Anku has deep roots in Celtic culture, where death was viewed not as an end, but as a transition to another phase of existence. The Anku, in this context, serves as a guide, helping souls navigate the passage from the world of the living to the world of the dead. His role is both feared and respected, as he embodies the inevitability of death while also offering a form of protection to the deceased. Over time, the Anku's image has evolved. In older representations, he was often depicted carrying a spear, dart, or feathered arrow. As a gravedigger, he might be seen with a shovel or hoe. It was not until the 19th century that the scythe became his iconic tool, thanks in part to the writings of Breton folklorists like Anatole Lebras. In his work The Legend of Death, Lebras detailed the Anku's characteristics, helping to solidify the legend as it is known today. The Anku also holds a significant place in the Breton calendar. He is believed to be particularly active on the eve of November, a date that corresponds to the Celtic festival of Samhain. This time, marking the end of summer and the beginning of winter, was thought to be when the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. The Anku's presence during this period serves as a reminder of the cyclical nature of life and death. The Anku's influence extends beyond oral tradition. He appears in various artistic representations, particularly in churches and chapels throughout Lower Brittany. In the Church of La Martyre, for instance, there is a depiction of the Anku holding a human head. These artistic renditions are seen as remnants of pagan beliefs that persisted despite the Christianization of the region. In Breton literature, the Anku has been a recurring character since the 16th century. He features in plays, poems, and stories, often serving as a symbol of mortality and the inevitability of death. The 19th century revival of interest in Celtic folklore brought the Anku to even greater prominence, cementing his place in the cultural imagination. Despite his fearsome reputation, the Anku is not inherently evil. In Breton tradition, he is often viewed as a neutral figure, fulfilling a necessary role in the cycle of life and death. His presence serves as a reminder of the inevitability of death and the importance of living a virtuous life. The Anku's dual nature, both protector and harbinger, reflects the complex relationship the Celts had with death, seeing it not as an end but as a transition to another state of being. The legend of the Anku also underscores the importance of respect for the dead and ancestral traditions. Many stories about the Anku involve individuals who disrespect or mock him, only to face dire consequences. These tales serve as cautionary reminders of the consequences of hubris and the importance of honoring the natural order. The Anku is a figure of profound complexity, embodying both the terror and the inevitability of death. His legend, deeply rooted in Celtic culture, offers a unique perspective on the cycle of life and death, reminding us of the importance of respect, humility, and the acceptance of our mortality. Whether viewed as a fearsome reaper or a protective guide, the Anku remains a powerful symbol in Breton folklore, a spectral figure whose presence continues to haunt and inspire. If you found this exploration of the Anku's legend intriguing, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives. Until next time, may you walk the paths of life with respect for the mysteries that lie beyond.